Hello and welcome to episode 140 of the Book Wars Pod.
I don't like you either.
That's fair, honestly.
Off to a great start.
I remembered to stop talking after only one additional word. I said and was about to introduce myself, and I was like, wait a minute, this is progress.
Baby steps.
Only took us hundreds of episodes.
Yep. I'm gonna nail it by the time we get to 185. You'll see. You'll all see. I'm Chris. I am here as usual with Rana and Miranda and Kristen, our fearless producer, and we are talking more about The Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view today. Yeah, I'm really tired for some reason, so I'm not good at banter. So what are we drinking?
Do you want to start us off so you can mute after, or?
Yeah, that's probably best. I am drinking scotch, which will definitely help my my state
Your
right
punchiness.
now. Say again?
Your
Punchiness. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking. Sorry, I just I'm spacing the fuck out right now. Jesus. I'm drinking scotch. I'm drinking Compass Box Spice Tree scotch. I think I've had it on the pod before, but it's very good. Not overly sweet, little bit of a honey vibe to it, but as one would expect from the name, got some spice notes in it as well.
I just thought it was like Emma Bunton's new line of scotch.
Who?
Baby Spice.
Oh, right. That makes sense. I never knew her full name. I was never a Spice Girls person, but I never knew her real name. Makes sense.
I've never known any of their names except
You
for...
You don't know their names?
Victoria Beckham is the only one I know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what her name was before she got married. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Oh, do I know her name before she got married? Great question. I got the rest of them, though.
Honestly, that's impressive.
Is it? I was just a weird little, 4-year-old who was obsessed with the Spice Girls.
It's okay. I was a 4-year-old who was obsessed with Star Wars, and that just never went away. So at least you had some personal growth.
Well...
That's debatable at best.
We fucking love the Spice Girls. If Spice World were streaming on any service, or if I had a VCR, you know what I would watch at least weekly?
The Spice World?
Semi-weekly.
I can't hear Spice World without thinking of Dune, so there's a problem here.
It's a whole album and movie by the Spice Girls.
It's a very different...
No, I know what it is. I was alive in the 90s. I know what it is. I remember it. I just never got into it. I have a problem. I don't know. I'm going to mute myself.
Now I'm just thinking of a Spice Girls Dune crossover.
Crossover? Yeah, that's actually the new movie that's coming out. I'm sure the fic is
honestly
there. It would still make more sense than the 90s TV show. So
Timothy Chalamet would still be great in the role, though.
Adams.
Wait, sorry, my sound cut out and heard you both at once. What?
Adams is her maiden name.
Huh.
You never in a million years would I have gotten that.
Yeah, same.
Me neither.
Also, I'm just laughing at The Spice World because it's very parent watched this with their child. Oh, The Spice World. I saw a tweet yesterday referring to Costco as Costco's, apostrophe S. And I'm just do you think it was started by Bob Costco? What is your thought process here?
Walmarts.
Yeah, well, I always think of the Google, that political thing. No one remembers that? The George W. Bush speech where he was
yes.
Use the Google or something like that. Yeah.
Oh my God. I do not remember that, but I love it.
I'm drinking 3-way IPA.
Nice.
Thanks for getting us back on track.
You're so welcome, because I too am in Chris's mode of just my brain no worky. I've definitely had 3-way IPA on the pod before, but not this one. And this is it's a seasonal release. It says limited edition seasonal. And it's done between 3 different breweries. Is it California, Washington, and Oregon? I think that's right.
All you West Coast.
I thought they just did 3 Oregon breweries, but I know nothing. So
that is not the case, but that is okay. But it's Moonraker beer, varietal beer, yeah, varietal. I just can't read. And Fort George. So I'm gonna try it, and I bet it's delicious.
I forgot I was on my work computer and I went to look up their locations, but instead of being a smart person and like looking up the name of the brewery, I just typed in three-way beer. So I hope, really hope.
I would.
I really hope that my IT people don't think I'm having some real problems tonight.
That's delicious. Chris, this is a borderline one for you. It's definitely got some stone fruity apricot, but it's less tropical. Go ahead.
Interesting.
How hoppy is it?
It's hoppy, but it's real juicy.
Yeah. Does she feel heavy at all?
Yeah, 7.2.
Holy shit. Okay.
I mean, it always is.
It always is, which
on
is
the upper, and that's why I have one. Happy Book Wars Pod anniversary to everyone that we didn't celebrate on the social medias, but it's the 31st of May.
Hey.
Is it really?
It's our
Hey.
birthday. Yeah.
Hey.
4 years of this fucking garbage.
Jesus, really? That's horrifying.
Wow, I can't believe we have any followers.
Anyway, Burb, what are you drinking?
So I am drinking a beer also. It is from our friends at Barelick Beer Company here in Portland, Oregon. It's called the Better Together IPA. And they've got a blurb. It's not a good one. Wherever we go together. I guess that's good. West Coast IPA, Citrus Strata Mosaic hops. I think it's like 6. Do you not put the thing on here? It's over 6. It might be like a 6. It's not a 6.8. I don't know. It's good though. I've got a backup beer, which is a Little Beast, dry hopped sour. I don't remember what she's called, but when I went to pick it up across the street, the guy I was talking to was like, "Ooh, you're getting the Barelick and a really good sour," so that bodes well. That one clocks in at 4.8. I know that one. I'm supposed to throw it to Rhonda now, aren't I?
I mean, I probably should have picked up that you were done, but I was like, tell us more about this beer.
Oh, it's got flamingos on the can.
See? I knew
and
there was more.
it's best enjoyed with like a flamingo floaty thing. Like
Really
in a
thought you were
pool.
going to be like, it's best enjoyed while eating a flamingo.
It's a delicacy here in the Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the hippos that used to be in the Potomac.
Exactly.
R.I.P.
Only real GW heads will know about that one.
So nobody
It's
should know
garbage.
about
Thank
that
you.
one.
I'm just shrugging.
There's
but it's a
Rana,
podcast.
honestly, there's like not even the story behind it is the president of GW at the time got plastered at an auction, bought a giant bronze hippo statue, and then his wife was like, "You're not keeping that in the house." So now it's on campus, and our unofficial mascot is the hippos when we don't want to be racist and be the colonials.
I don't think they'll do it, but I hope that's what they go for.
They should.
I do prefer hippos to colonials.
Oh,
It's fair.
is that even a question?
No.
No, we fucking love the hippos. The only reason the hippo went away is because our creepy athletic director was like, "I don't like this."
Yeah, and then he got his
I don't
ass
like you,
fired.
creepy
Worse.
athletic director.
But the thing about the Potomac is that they all, SJT also, who was the president at the time, wrote a bunch of like lies about hippos roaming Washington D.C. at one point.
Yeah,
And
it was
that's
like
what
a
it says on
marketing
the
thing where they
plaque.
made up.
Was he just
that-
drunk all the time? Oh, it was a
He
marketing.
bought a
thing.
lot of
That makes more
statues.
sense.
Let's just put
I mean,
it
he
that
was.
way.
I
There
took a
were a
class
lot
with him
of
once, and he
statues.
was drunk all the time. So
Your president taught a class? What?
it was after he'd retired. It was weird. It was a weird
There's a
situation. He
lot
fell
of
asleep in
information
literally
here.
every class. It was awkward. But yeah, no, they literally it was like a marketing copy / like joke / like thing they tried to tell prospective students is that legend has it that George Washington used to sit on his porch at Mount Vernon and watch the river horses or whatever they fucking called him, and there were hippos in the Potomac, and that's why we had a hippo statue.
I just want to say one time for the pod, fuck George Washington. Sorry, I have to say it. Okay, I'll be quiet.
No,
now.
that's fine.
Kind of a
That's
dick.
correct.
Honestly, I'll go for.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
think
go.
I'd be a good
like,
Haudenosaunee if I didn't say that.
I'll go in a similar direction and say fuck George Washington University. That's like even more personally offensive to the three of us.
Hey.
Yeah, I think that that sounds like more of a thing to say as opposed to a terrible person who committed genocide. So,
Yeah,
you know.
both not equally bad, but both bad.
Both bad. Both
Yeah.
really bad. Well, I hope they still give you the hippos.
We do still have
Rana,
the
what are
hippos.
you drinking?
I am drinking. It's fine. I'm drinking. It is a beer, but it's called a blueberry smoothie.
Is this a bitch I've had before?
It's relatively new according to the can.
Oh, I
it's
haven't
by
had that
Dry
one.
Dock.
I love that.
It's by
for
Dry
you,
Dock
though.
Brewery, which is over in Aurora. It's 5.2. It's an ale brewed with blueberries, vanilla, and lactose. It is delicious. It's a little creamy tasting. Obviously, that's the lactose. It's a limited release. It's delicious, and I love the art because it has this jellyfish. Not that I know what jellyfish have to do with blueberry smoothies, but I love that it's like basically the color of a blueberry smoothie if you didn't have all the good healthy stuff you add to it. So
If you do a blueberry
Yeah.
smoothie and you put enough blueberries in, it'll look fine.
oh no, yeah, I just add too many things to my smoothies, so then they look like a blueberry. They look like this if you like threw it in some mud.
Yeah.
So-
Well, that's why you
Maybe more like the jellyfish.
you pile in the fruit so your thing isn't a
Oh.
weird like turd green.
I just use a little bit of fruit and a lot of spinach and a frozen banana and a lot of mixed berries and some collagen powder and protein powder, Greek yogurt. It's a lot. I don't know why I'm giving this recipe on the pod, so let's just change what we're
Pod
talking about.
exclusive.
But yeah,
Actually, this is the
I
right
talked about my
podcast now.
sandwiches and I talked about. Did I talk about my fish tacos? No, I don't think so. And now I've talked about my podcast or my fucking. I'm so tired. I didn't even know I was tired.
It's like the Christmas Story, when it's like you join Annie's special club and you tune in just for the code breaking. Except instead of Ovaltine and drinking your Ovaltine, it's Rana's recipes.
I don't know why I gasped at that, but two things. One, I don't think anyone wants my smoothie recipes. Everyone always says they're disgusting because they have too many like healthy things, but I think they're delicious.
Because they're turd green.
I'll have you know they're purple with a lot of gritty brown.
Tasty.
And it's delicious. And two, speaking of A Christmas Story, which I've never even seen all the way through, multiple times now in Denver, I've been picked up by, like when I call an Uber, I've been picked up by the Uber driver, and when I'm like talking to them, oh, how are you doing? Blah, 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 tell me your life. It's someone whose like daughter is married to the kid who starred in that movie, but then he always talks about his daughter like meeting him at the Young Republicans Club, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be in this car. So just FYI, that's what I think about whenever I hear A Christmas Story because I've never actually seen the movie. So
Wild.
That's very
yeah,
weird.
Very weird. And
The
both
not seeing A
times I've
Christmas
had the same
Story
Uber driver.
or the Uber driver part.
Yes, honestly.
Okay. Fair.
Guys, remember, or sorry, not guys. Remember, people. My mom's parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, so there was no Christmas for them, and the rest of them, there are too many people in the family to be able to watch a Christmas movie. So
I was about to say Chris is Jewish, like.
yeah, how is
No,
he
I've never
secret?
seen A Christmas Story. To be clear.
Oh
So-
fuck. It's
Okay, good. This is like the time Miranda was singing that Christmas song, and Chris and I were like, "What the fuck is
no.
this?"
the John Lennon one.
Yeah, did they know it? We were like, "What?"
It's a great song.
Is it though?
No,
Have I
and
feel
John-
like I've gone into
John
my
Lennon.
John Lennon thoughts on this pod. It's fine.
Also, it was when we had that conversation. Also, a piece of
Yeah.
shit. Anyway, what's Star Wars?
I'm not
tell me, Chris.
familiar personally.
Keeks, it's your time to shine.
Yeah, it's written on your whiteboard and everything.
When and where are we?
We are in The Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view. Chris, can you tell them about our org for this book?
I can,
before we
yes.
Talk about the Star Wars. Thank you.
Yes. So as a reminder, the charitable organization that we are encouraging people to give to while we read this book is Islamic Relief USA at irusa.org. Excuse the fuck out of me. They're a real ass fucking nonprofit. irusa.org. And they're doing a lot of great work collecting resources and then getting those resources to people affected by state violence in Palestine and who are being killed and genocided by the Israeli government. So they're doing great work. If you have money, please give to them. Yeah, let's talk about Star Wars. And it's funny because I read this book when it came out last, I don't know, October, whenever, last year sometime. And I read this first story that we're going to talk about, Against All Odds by R.F. Kuang. And it really struck me for multiple reasons. There is a point to this segue, I promise. One is that it made me care about Dak, which I thought was impossible. Dak is the character. Whenever me and Kate watch Empire, we always make fun of Dak for being useless because he's so excited.
That's fair.
And then he dies.
And he thinks he can take on the whole Empire himself. So clearly,
Spoiler
he's a lot
alert,
of his league here.
cannot.
You can't do that unless you have the Force, which, as we learned in this one, he aggressively does not. Also,
It's true.
You know, the first page, it doesn't mention who it is, and it's several paragraphs until you're like, oh no, it's Dak. He's gonna die at the end of this story.
And it's not an oh no because he's gonna die. It's an oh no because it's
'Cause
Dak.
it's
Yes. Oh no, it's Dak.
It's fun fact. I did have a beer with the guy who played Dak at the last Star Wars celebration. Very nice man.
Hey.
What? Wow.
Did you?
Yeah,
I went to
it's
the
a
last
long-
Star Wars celebration. All I did was buy a T-shirt. Like, wow. That's not like those stupid. All I did was get this T-shirt. It's like a true story. So, sorry. Tell us your story, Chris.
So about Dak, and it's this story really for whatever reason it really struck me. I wanted to say struck a nerve, but that makes it sound like I didn't like it. Ronnie, you were tell us your story about getting a beer. There isn't really a story.
yeah, and you're like, oh, Rada said, don't talk about it. Bye.
No. It's I mean, there isn't really a story. One of my friends is more involved with some of the backstage stuff, and so recognizes some of these people, and she was like, hey, you want to meet this person? And I was like, I mean, I'll try not to make fun of him, but sure. Very nice man though. Very, very nice old man. So anyway, back to the story I started 20 minutes ago. I swear there was a not a good point, but there was one. So I read the story however long ago, 6 months ago, whatever. And in addition to making me care about Dak, it really struck me. I read this story and I put the book down and I was like, this story makes me want to become a writer, and I don't know why. Which is I'm not a writer. That's not good.
It's
that would
because
be bad
it
for
was a
everyone.
Should someone tell Kate?
Yeah, no. Right?
I can't.
Coming for her.
I can't wait to see her comments on your most recent draft.
Oh God.
Also, the reason you wanted to write at the end is because it was a good fucking story.
Yes.
I hate to
Well,
say-
yes, it was a good fucking story, but there was something very specific about Dak's past combined with his optimism. And so obviously we learn in the story that he was born just before the Empire, but very young, got taken to a prison camp or a concentration camp with his family. And you hear about all the horrible things that the Empire did to him, and it is very reminiscent of things that the Nazis did to Jews, making them inform on each other, making them be part of the execution squads for each other, all this horrible stuff. And it just something about his hope in the face of everything just made me weirdly emotional, and I would just it felt like a very Jewish story. And obviously Jews don't have a monopoly on the suffering caused by hatred and white supremacy in this world. But it just really struck me that you have no reason to care about or like anything in this world. And you are just yeah, everything is going to be okay because we're going to make it okay. It's that very we go on because we are happy because we have to. That is the only choice that we have.
Yeah, it's a very sorry.
No, go.
It's a very rebellion kind of mindset. It's not surprising to see him apparently thrive in the few weeks on Hoth leading up to The Empire Strikes Back and the story and all of that. It sounds like he and Luke had a really good thing going on, but that the hope is kind of the theme in Star Wars in general, but like especially in this story. And he's like, we're good, we're gonna make it. And it's like literally all of the odds are against you. You're in an icicle, and there's a fucking Star Destroyer right there. And he's like, we're gonna do it. And I mean, it's Dak. He dies.
I did like his awe at everything that everyone did. How he was just like, everything is so amazing. Look at them. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I think he was
Spoiler
finding
alert.
the joy in life at this point. Like, his life fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Like, he had to go
That's
through
true.
so much terrible shit as a kid. However old he is now, that too. And it's like, oh man, Luke Skywalker is a walking legend. And here I am. We just like, we've got the same brain when we're flying around in our little snow speeder. That's pretty cool. That was a point, probably.
One thing I didn't realize about this, which I just found out now while we were talking about it, is that R.F. Kuang is really young. Like, she's only 25 now. And so...
Oh, yeah. No, it makes me feel not good
yeah,
about myself,
she wrote
for
this.
sure.
She must have been in her like early 20s writing this, and it's so good. It's like, goddamn.
I mean, she is
I
a
hope
she is
she
a book
gets more
trilogy.
Star Wars books.
Yeah, she has a book trilogy out that she recently finished. It's
Poppy Wars?
Started with the Poppy War, which I need to read.
I've heard of this.
But yeah, no, she's very young. It makes me feel
25.
very inadequate about what I've done with my life, to be sure.
Jesus.
I hope that she gets like her own Star Wars trilogy. Like, I think these little short stories are a great way to see the way that the authors relate to characters or shape things. And I mean, to make us care about Dak, just gotta have some talent. Sorry, Dak.
No, I'm totally with you. And I mean, I think, they've definitely been used for that in the past. I mean, thinking about, there are definitely authors who wrote short stories in the first one and then went on to get novels. Kevin Scott is a big one. Charles Soule did a short story. He also did a bunch of the comics, but like he did short fiction in the first one. Zoraida Cordova. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see if she would do it. Rebecca Kuang write a full length Star Wars book.
She went to Georgetown.
I know. I try not to hold that against her.
Ha! Otherwise, yes, I agree with that. I think, like you said, if I can actually care about Dak, and I can go from, oh no, it's Dak, to like, oh no, Dak, then I fully believe she can do, anything that Star Wars throws at her. So I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Oh, and just to finish up the thread that I was talking about before and then got sidetracked 20 million times. The reason that I had my connection to our organization that we're supporting to this story is because the story was a lot more heartwarming and sympathetic about how it made me feel before Israel started actively genociding Palestinians again. Hey. They're the worst.
Correct.
Anyway. But yeah. So that's all. This was just a very it's like rebellions are built on hope, but they're also built on joy, and that was just very powerful to me. Also, because I think this book came out in it must have been before the election too, because I must have been very depressed, and so not that things are good in America now, but they're different, and that's better.
But I think part of what makes this such a good story, you just said that this focuses on joy. We fucking never see that in Star Wars. It's usually just like a depressing slog of genocide and nobody having moms and, just kind of being lost in the galaxy. And even though Dak dies at the end, spoiler for the 1980 film Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, directed by George Lucas.
No, it wasn't.
Even though he dies at the end, I think his joy really does come across, and it comes across in, like what Rana mentioned, his awe of all the other characters. He's like, hell yeah, we got Leia, we got, Luke fucking Skywalker. He killed the Death Star. We share a small enclosed space sometimes. he's got a very positive outlook on things, which never happens in Star Wars. That's it. That's the point. It's a concept.
Well, and how different is this from the last story we talked about of Kendall, where like in this, when he dies, don't get me wrong, when I die one day, I really hope I'm not like, oh good, he can do it about someone. But also like if that's how what brings you peace, cool. But compare this to what we read last time in Kendall of like, oh wow, I forgot who I was as a person and I've made all these life choices that I regret and I just want to like go taste my mom's stew on the mountainside. Like in this, Dak doesn't seem to have any regrets. He knows he died for a purpose. He knows that, you know, everything that he's doing is for the rebellion, and he's like, all right, we did it. It's cool. I'm out. Never gonna see you again. Bye. Keeps
going
the
to go
air
out-
horn.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we would all likely rather go out fighting fascism as opposed to being a part of fascism.
Like
I hope so.
Full stop.
It's a bold
That's-
claim.
God, it's the easiest question to answer.
And
And
yet.
And yet.
So let's talk about...
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
Let's talk not about Joy, but about Beyond Hope by Micah Morrissey. Which I don't have a ton to talk about, I'm going to be dead honest with you. But it really reminded me of Twilight Company by Alexander Freed.
Yeah. I really liked the story. I think that's maybe part of it is I really like Twilight Company, and I tend to really like the, you know, foot soldier war story kind of thing because I'm a monster who was brought up under the military-industrial complex. But I don't. It's really interesting to see. Like it seemed like the guy. What's his name?
Are you talking about the guy in this
Kref? Yeah.
in the story? Yeah, like Eamon or Eamon Kref, I think.
Yeah. He. From his narration, it seems like the Empire didn't get to his planet until like a few months ago. Which, one, wild, but two, that's something we know to be true. Like, the Republic never fully reached Tatooine, right? So anything is possible, but he's just like, okay, well, we've been fighting this war for God knows how long. I guess I'll just go fight this other war, and somehow make it out alive. That seems fine. Fuck the Empire. Fight back.
I liked the story. I just wished it was in a different place, like that it was like not other than Hoth, which they wished, but that it was like ordered differently so that it wasn't right after Against All Odds. I wish it was like maybe after The Truest Duty or in some way, because I kind of would have liked sort of shifting perspective within the battle. However, I'm not an editor. I don't put together book orders. No one should listen to me. But that was my only thing that I thought about it was like, well, no, I thought a lot of things, but that was the only like note I had. Which again, I'm not an editor, so no one needs to listen to my notes. But the other thing was, I just can't believe they lived. I was like, cool, dying just like Dak, and then I was like, wait a second.
I mean, I was expecting him to live, but when his buddy did, I was like, what the hell
yeah,
is
that was
this?
really nice when he
Like,
helped his friend.
It's good. You know, he's helping his buddy.
That's what we like to see. No
he's
more
trying
trauma.
to-
Slightly less trauma.
Trying to shoot down an entire AT-AT with his blaster that doesn't have a power pack in it.
Yeah, that was. I did like when he's like, "Oh yeah, we tape our guns together." I was like, "Sounds about right."
Yeah. And he's like, okay, so here are all the other things in, you know, our unit that are fucked. And it's like, this person doesn't have this. This thing hasn't worked in days. That might be another story. I don't care.
Yeah.
That was maybe the Wedge story. Who's to say?
No,
yeah.
I think that
no,
was this
and Rana,
and that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with Burb. I think that was in this and that was in that. I think it's like a common theme of the Rebel Alliance.
Because they don't have resources or...
They got nothing. I mean, even in Alphabet Squadron, they're like, "Oh, we can't do anything, so we need you to go pick up some supplies." Like, even when they've won.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of our ships are different.
Yep. And, like, I think, you know, kind of to branching off of the point that you made, Rana, about kind of the wild swing in tone between Against All Odds and Beyond Hope. It's very... I feel like we got a lot of that in this book because in the first section we read, we got it was Ion Control by Emily Skritsky, and like the next two that were like super cute that I can't remember, but one of them was about my boy Chase Wilsore. And those like kind of switched in tone too, right? Like it was the very like realist, pessimistic, I know that I'm going to die one day. It's just a question of doing what I can before I get there, versus the like, I have a boyfriend now, like vibe of.
And I'll say I meant the opposite. I meant that I thought it was similar-ish to Against All Odds, just in like the narrate, not like in the tone or what happens, which is the whole point of story, but just in like the moments, the when and where are we factor, and who are we, more in that factor than in like
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I had some questions about how some of these chapters were, you know, again, kind of organized. Like, we had the one for the last time I thought should have been a little sooner. But again, as Ronna said, not an editor, don't listen to me. The Book Wars Pod story.
Book Wars Pod, famously not an editor.
It's true. Absolutely. Let's talk about what you just mentioned, For the Last Time by Beth Revis.
It was a story. I think it's interesting, and like I do think this should have been fair. I mean, it is fairly close objectively to the Kendall. What's his name?
Ozzel.
It follows pretty closely after it, and the in the actual timeline. But it's interesting to see somebody who, like, he knows how to play this game. And we come across so many characters who are affiliated with the Empire who do, but we, like, very rarely get that real insight into, like, how much they're thinking through everything. We got a bit of it in Tarkin when we read that, but in this one, he's like, oh, so I, like, knew this information, and then I held it, because I knew that Ozzel was gonna fuck it up. And I played that shit up, and, like, he's stupid, so he didn't know what he was gonna say to Vader, and it was like, Jesus Christ, man.
I feel like as much as he thinks that he knows he's playing the game, he's still not playing it the way he thinks he is. Like, he has it all figured out in his head, but then you're reading it and you're like, you still somehow think you're gonna live. You're not gonna fucking live. Like, how do you think that you're the magical one who's playing this game well enough? Like, you're all INTJs. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna work.
No, and it's weird because, like, that's something that he acknowledges. He's like, if you think you're safe, you're fucking not. But, like, he also kind of thinks,
except for me, right?
He's like, oh, I know I can die at any second. I'm like, do you? You just saw your commanding officer get force choked across space by fucking Darth Vader. Twink-ass Anakin Skywalker. And, like, you know everything that led up to that, and it can be a real small mistake, and you still think you're gonna live? You still think that if you vaguely see his head, you're gonna get to live?
Well, I like how he has all that, and he's thinking about how disgusted he is, as if, like, Vader can't feel his feelings. I'm just like, the fuck? Like, you're just standing there like, wow, what a disgusting piece of shit. And Vader's probably like, I'll fucking kill you.
I know.
Sorry,
like
I turned that into Boston, but you knew what I meant.
He's very lucky that Vader just wasn't paying attention at that moment. Because, yeah, I had the exact same thought of, like, you should shut your brain right now.
Can't wait to yell that at a future child.
Shut your
brain
brain,
right
kid.
I yelled at my dog.
I wish somebody had told me that as a kid.
Would that have helped?
No.
I feel like your mom did say those exact words to you, Miranda.
Probably. Who's to say?
You know, when
Keeks was there?
when you were hanging out with her. Well, I've heard stories about Miranda as a young child trying to speak with the adults instead of, like, going in a ball pit.
That's okay. That was my life too, Miranda. I feel you.
Some of us just kind of wait around for adulthood.
And then we host Star Wars podcast.
Yeah.
Listen,
exactly.
I've always been an old soul, but I'm all about the ball pit.
Oh no! You know what happens? Oh, never mind. Enjoy it. I won't say anything.
Listen, have you ever been in a pool? It's no worse than a pool.
The pool has more cleaning chemicals.
The pool also has far more pee in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
they
it
find
all-
like
it-
needles in ball pits.
Kids
Where the
throw
fuck were
up
you
in
going to
there,
ball
they
pits?
pee. Chuck E. Cheese.
I've read the
Oh,
internet before.
okay, yeah, I never actually been to a Chuck E. Cheese. That might be a very
our
Chuck E.
after
Cheese.
school program used to take us there, and then I would just hide in the tunnel and play the little arcade games and eat the pizza. And now I'm like, ew, I can't believe I ever did that. Like, I never was a ball pit kid. Maybe
I
as a
was
toddler.
afraid of the tunnels.
That
I
might
would
be a
hide in-
very Charles Entertainment Cheese Incorporated specific
in central
experience.
Massachusetts,
In
everywhere.
central
has needles.
Massachusetts. Yes, indeed.
Chuck E. Cheese is terrifying as a place.
The animatronics, like as an adult, you look back on it and you're like, what? But I remember as a kid, that pizza slapped. Like, it was really good. Now I don't want to think about what's in it. But...
I want pizza so bad now. Not necessarily Chuck E. Cheese pizza, but just like pizza in general.
Yeah, please don't get Chuck E.
Be
Cheese pizza.
selective with your pizza here.
Yeah. You can do, kids, if you take nothing else from this podcast, you can do better.
Also, kids, please stop listening to this podcast and give your phone back
Yeah,
to your
how
parent.
did you get here? Amazing.
I wonder what kind of pizza they have on. Not Hoth, but like, I'd be into checking out pizza places
Tauntaun
on.
pizza.
Is what?
Tauntaun pizza.
Jesus.
Well, doesn't Wedge say they have a great chef in Rendezvous Point? I bet they have good pizza.
You can't
Oh
make-
yeah, whoever was on Akbar's ship.
Making steaks
yeah.
to avoid talk of calamari.
It's always funny to me because the official definition of tauntauns is that they're lizards, not mammals, which is very weird and makes no sense because lizards would not exist on a planet that cold. But I digress. But I wonder what that steak would taste like if it would be like, because I feel like if they're lizards, it wouldn't be like a cow steak.
Would it be
you
like
know?
an alligator steak?
Well, don't
Yeah, I
reptiles
guess.
taste like chicken? I've had
Could be.
alligator, and it did kind of taste like. I mean, it was like bland chicken. Like, could have had more seasoning.
Who
It's
didn't
cool.
fucking spice their alligator? I've never had
I was gonna say
alligator.
made by Caucasians.
I
but
don't know what
it was
happened.
decent. I would have just had catfish bites. It was like the same thing with less texture.
Yeah, I've never had alligator either. I've heard it's
Oh.
fine.
I'll eat anything.
I
didn't kill it
I've never
myself,
had alligator
so-
mostly because I've never had the opportunity. I actually would try alligator given the opportunity.
I probably would, but I'm also afraid of the state of Florida, so
Yeah,
I
I,
mean,
don't
that's
recommend it. But I mean, you could go anywhere else.
not to get my fresh caught alligator.
Louisiana,
Yeah, Louisiana.
Alabama,
I would
probably
absolutely
parts
have
of
some
Texas,
Cajun spiced
Tennessee.
alligator.
I don't know. Maybe not
That would
Tennessee.
be
It's probably
good.
too far north.
When I had it, it was in like a stew.
Ooh, that sounds
and it was-
good.
it was
All
really
game
good.
meat goes well in stew.
I bet they.
It's true.
I feel like they probably had a lot of stews on Hoth. I don't know where
Is
they're
it-
getting their shit.
Go
Hopefully
ahead.
they brought spices because it's just like tauntaun, wampa, and those slugs.
And that moss that they were eating last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so next episode, I'm going to start with my tauntaun stew recipe, and it'll be fine.
They're all like Sam Gamgee. They have just a tiny little box of salt that they take with them.
Just in case they need some roast tauntaun.
Or some potatoes.
Throwback to stirring his Jedi soup.
Oh,
Throwback.
some of our debut episodes.
Yeah, your audition, some might say.
Hey, Chris can't come on tonight. Can you do this?
Yeah, like what was it, like 2 minutes before recording?
I had read the.
That was funny.
I had read the whole book that day. It was a
I mean, sure.
real quiet day.
Twist.
Yeah, but like, how do I even bring this back? I don't fucking know.
You just do it. There's no way. You just do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, maybe the texture of what Piet saw under the helmet and what it would look like as meat. I don't know.
Not
That's
good.
the best I
It would
got.
not look
What
good.
tastes better,
Roadkill?
fried alligator or
Roadkill?
fried Vader?
Oh, God. Well, fried Vader, let's ask everyone Mustafar, but... I pronounced that planet name wrong. Please don't hate me. I know I'm a woman who said something wrong, but I really like Star Wars.
Somebody call the Rebel Force radio guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have any more points on for the
Do we
last
need to talk
time.
about his relationship with Vader? How
Real
fucking
weird.
it was.
Real fucking weird.
Real fucking weird.
Everyone's relationship. Real weird.
Yeah, it was very, it was like very, it was like just to continue the theme of being irreverent and not safe for work. It was like Piet trying to like reconvince himself to get a fear boner back. It was like very
Yes. But I mean, compared to Veer's having like just a general like obsession boner for Vader, I feel like I don't know which is worse. Neither of them is good, but I don't know which is worse.
generally like ideally no boners in
Yeah,
in
that's
and around
HR
Vader.
violation. Please no.
No,
You're in your workplace.
no dicks out for Vader.
Oh God, I'm gonna see that on like a bumper sticker one day, and I'm not ready.
I do find it weird that like that was his last thought. That he called him like my lord.
Yeah,
In
it was
general,
some
too, I was
weird,
like,
like
what?
definite BDSM vibes there.
I mean, do you? But like, you're
I mean, if you read any of George Lucas's dialogue in the right frame of mind,
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just like you're trying to take the space at Hoth, and you're like, oh my lord, what would Vader think? It's like I think you have more important shit to focus on, dude.
isn't that like when he dies and he thinks like I will not fail him?
yes?
God, Jesus fucking Christ! Go back to Dak. Like I don't want this.
yeah, right?
What a time.
All right, so let's move along to rendezvous point rather. Excuse me.
Are you saying
by
we're
Jason
meeting
Fry.
at the rendezvous point?
Brought to you by I forgot everyone who wrote that movie. Not just Ivan Kershner. What was the other guy's name? Don't tell me. It's okay. It's cool. Just don't listen. Gary.
The look on
something.
Miranda's face right now.
Gary Kasdan.
How do you
or
know
something
these
like that.
things?
You don't know? Okay, it's
It's
fine.
okay. I
It's
know
fine.
that. I
I'm
know
on
the last
podcast.
names of the Spice Girls.
You know what? That's so true. No one can ever
That's
take
far
that
more
from you, Burp.
valuable, honestly.
It is.
But yeah, rendezvous point. So first, just to get it out of the way, love the little Lost Stars reference in there. For those who missed it, the Contessa was Thane's squad leader with Corona Squadron.
I liked her. I want to read whatever she's in. She was cool.
Yeah, same. I did think at the beginning it was Mon Mothma making up a code name for herself.
But it
So
said that she had dark skin and dark hair
I
and dark
skimmed
eye.
over that. I skimmed over that part, so then I had to like
Mon
go
Mothma,
back.
famous woman of color.
I had to go back and reread it, and then I was like, "Oh, is it Iden Versio?" Like completely forgetting everything about Lost Stars, despite that being my first episode on this podcast. Star on the Jedi suit.
I honestly just having recently, I mean, as it was recently on TV, watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was just like imagining Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Am I the only one who imagined a woman of color? Like
No,
Oh,
you were
no, I
right.
think- it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be.
whitewashing the book characters.
Right?
Here on Pod Wars, classic Star Wars shit.
Not in my Star Wars. They would never whitewash anybody.
Just kidding. I'm not offended. It's okay.
Yeah. It honestly, it falls apart real quick if you imagine Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Really in any sort of Star Wars. And I really like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but I can't imagine a single role for her. Except maybe like voicing a Hutt. I feel like she'd do that really well.
Or droid.
I think,
Or a droid.
I
She
think-
could do a droid.
I think there's room for like a space Selena Meyer.
I mean, if we had what's her name, whose name is now escaping me. This is not helpful. In The Mandalorian, she's like a comedian. And she's on Tatooine.
Oh, Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, if we had Amy Sedaris, we could definitely have Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's, you know what? That's a great fucking point.
I love that. Yes.
Anyway, the Contessa. Yeah. But yeah, so like Rendezvous Point, in addition to being like the longest story so far in this book, it is a lot more real about death and killing than Star Wars generally gets.
It was really striking. Like we get the insight into Wedge's conversations with the Contessa, aka not Mon Mothma, but like they're going through, different scenarios. Not even like battle planning at this point. Just like, oh, what if we did this alternative option? And every time they're like, okay, so people are gonna die if we do that. But more people are going to die if we do this. Hey, here's this great idea. They going to die. and they're, I mean, obviously it makes sense, like how okay they are with that. They're the Rebel Alliance deep into this galactic civil war. You know, they've seen lots of people die before in space. But it's not casual. It's just like something that is a fact, which, I mean, is true for all wars. People die. That's war's whole thing.
Famously.
IR major.
People die in wars. I have a degree from
Went to college for that lesson.
the George Washington University. But it's frank. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very frank. They're not like kind of going around it at all. They're just getting straight to the point. Like, so here's the deal: they gonna die. Which I think it's just portrayed in a very different way than we've seen in other Star Wars stories and other Star Wars media.
Other than Alexander Freed, who I think that's like.
Well, he just exists to rip our hearts out. So.
I did think it also. Well, I totally was going to say something else, and then my brain said, "Do this other thing." But that's how my brain sounds. Apparently, I liked having like, oh my god, why is my brain not working? But Wedge and what's his name? The guy he's like talking shit with the second in command.
Jansen.
Yes, thank you. And Jansen, like, I loved that they're just talking shit with each other. Loved that. Give me more shit talking in Star Wars as camaraderie, like, please.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. You're good. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway.
Okay, I just was going to throw in a point about... I really loved the scene where they're just, like, going through everybody, like, on the ship. Like, could this person fly a starfighter?
This person refused, but we're going to make them do it anyways.
This guy knows how to fly. This one's smart, so they'll probably get it.
This one hit someone in the head with a cafeteria tray.
Like,
I have to say, never felt so never had so much in common with a Star Wars character.
Like, and I think it's Jansen. He's like, I admire her tenacity, or whatever Star Wars words they put it in, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
she's very
Experienced in ambush tactics, I believe.
Yes,
was
exactly. It was hysterical. I also like when. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have a thing.
I just loved all the sarcasm. Like, give me more star. Jesus fucking Christ.
Sarcasm.
Star Wars. More sarcasm. The humor of Star Wars. That could be someone's, like, I don't know, thesis. Anyways, I liked when they're talking about, like, the, you know, rebel symbol being painted onto the, like, Firebird being painted onto the R2 unit. Or and they're like, yeah, I don't know how they keep finding our spies. It's like, thank you.
And it's also like, so somebody was really bored, and now this blue fucking protocol droid
has a beautiful gold piece of bling.
Exactly.
Listen, Sabine just spray paints that on in 30 seconds flat.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think Sabine's on the ship right now. Do they have other artists in Star Wars? We've only seen her and everybody in Queen's Peril.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask Thrawn.
Sabine, everyone from Naboo, nobody else knows art.
Thrawn.
Thrawn,
Hey, well,
and
maybe
of
think-
course,
Geeks.
famously.
Keek's favorite blue boy.
Did anybody else get the vibes of that episode of Battlestar Galactica where they're like, we have nobody to fly these fucking fighter ship planes? I don't know. No, just me.
I'm not a Battlestar Galactica person yet. Sorry.
Yeah, I can count on one hand the number of Battlestar episodes I've seen.
It's the same vibe. It's just like, okay, let's talk through these people. Do we think they can fly a starfighter? Like half of this was just literally that episode of Battlestar Galactica, which was fantastic. But going back to the point of the sarcasm and like the banter of Star Wars, and it's like that's something we don't, like you said, get enough of, because that's closer to reality than anything we've seen in Star Wars. Like,
It was nice to see them acknowledge that too, right? To have someone who's like, I don't want to kill anybody, and to have Wedge be like, I threw up an entire night after it killed someone. Like, I thought that was a nice reminder.
yeah, and
You know, people die.
like they also focus on some of the other bad things, like, yeah, so I've been in this cockpit for like 2 days, And now I'm really hot because I have my Ice Planet suit on, but I'm in a...
And I pee into my diaper.
I pee into my diaper. My air conditioning's broken.
But at least it wasn't going while we were on Hoth.
And I can't roll down my windows.
Also, now I've been like stink bombed with
Yeah.
pheromones. So
I did
cool.
enjoy the canning of tauntaun farts for use.
Wow,
And-
I totally misunderstood what it was. I thought it was like a pheromone ejection.
No.
When he talked about like collecting from the bowl, I was like, I imagine like or stimulating the bowl. I was like, oh, I didn't think it was sperm. I thought it was pheromones.
No, it's
I mean,
de tauntaun.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, that
it
makes
was,
more
it was
sense.
yes, and I would say.
Oh no, I don't have to be right on this. I'm fine with not being right on this one. I'll let it go. You heard it here first. First time ever letting this one go.
Check back in a couple of days and see how it goes.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
check my Twitter and we'll find out.
By the time this posts, we will all be dead.
My second notes apology.
I
The
know
sequel.
I've weighed in a lot this episode, but I must. I was wedding dress shopping with someone the other day, not for my wedding, obviously, for someone else, and the woman who was doing the wedding dress fit, whatever, the lady who was helping us said that being right is her love language.
Same.
Being told that she's like, well, it's not only being right, it's also being told that I'm right. And
But
I was like,
then
that's a big Book Wars pod vibe.
But also that's
Where is
counterintuitive
Kate?
because
So-
if you only have to be told that you're right, then you might not actually be right, and then
No,
you're
I'm-
just going in.
No. We're right. We like being told that. Because it is
Okay, I'm gonna
correct.
let you have that one. You're right, Miranda. Sure.
Amazing.
It's a vibe.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Oh boy.
Incredible. Yeah, there's nothing more I can add to this discussion. It's peaked. It is
Chris
perfect
doesn't want to be wrong for
as
the
it
first
is.
time.
Really,
So,
that's
it's a
what it is.
mood.
I know I'm not going to be right. So let's talk about the final story we read, the final order. See what I did there? see what I did. By Seth Dickinson. A lot of references to other shit in this, although I remain confused about the reference to squadrons. Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm the only one on this podcast who played Squadrons. Is that a fair assumption?
I have not played Squadrons.
Not a video game person. Please don't take me off the pod.
How dare
No, that's fine. So the reference to Helix Squadron is in like the tutorial level of Squadrons. It's right after Alderaan, and you are an Imperial, and one of going after Alderaanian refugees, in the story. But your squad leader defects and helps them escape, and then your character in the Rebel Alliance, because it switches perspectives, then comes
I was
in and
really
helps
worried
everybody
about where
escape.
that was going at first. I was like, holy shit, that's a dark game.
Yeah.
Wait, Chris.
This game starts with you looking in the eyes of refugees.
I think I actually played the intro to this.
Oh, did
See?
you?
I
Chris
think
was
so.
wrong.
No, but I think I was like, and this is not important. I'm like, I think I was really high when I was doing it, and I was like, I should not
I
be trying.
knew that's where this was going.
I
love it.
should not be trying to fly this space airplane. At this
I
time.
did try to play Squadrons High once, and it did not work.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
good. Glad it's not.
And I've got-
Flying under the influence.
I've got the flight stick controller too. So
Did
yeah,
you just think you were in space?
no, I thought I kept fucking crashing. But anyway, so what confuses me about this story is in the game, you help the refugees escape. Once you get betrayed by your squad leader as the Empire, perspective switches over to the rebellion, and you help all the refugees escape. So I'm not really sure what refugees he killed.
Well,
But did
I
he kill
mean-
refugees? Because he's like, I filed all this paperwork. It seems
Yeah,
like
he says he
did.
filed it about killing them, like to see if it triggered something in the system. I thought.
Oh, interesting.
That was
Interesting.
how I
So,
read it.
do
Was
we
that
think
like
that
he killed
is?
them and then he filed the paperwork that way? But maybe I read it backwards.
I thought
Well-
he killed them and then was like, "Oh, we didn't want the emperor to be bad at karaoke or like some weird bullshit, gambling debts." Like,
I thought he killed them, and that's why he like felt so guilty about it.
Yeah, that's the reading I got on it
okay,
in the reading. Sorry.
The reading you got of the reading.
that's how it works, folks.
But yeah, so not entirely sure how that works. That's really just like the most nitpicky semantic thing in the world. But also reference to Twilight Company with Tabor. I don't remember how we decided this was pronounced, but like Citeron or Citeron.
I think we switched wildly every time we.
That
Brought it
feels
up.
like that feels right. But yeah, he was the like kind of older instructor dude from Twilight Company who hated the like baby like Hux wannabe essentially. But yeah,
Yeah, I thought there was an interesting dynamic in this story with Cannonball and
Cannon House,
Cannonball and
very German, very space German. Also played by Werner Herzog.
between him and like this young, EXO coming up, and she's pretty fresh from the academy. It sounds like maybe she had some posts before because she made it up to commander. But it's like, are you loyal to the Empire? I'm loyal to the Empire. I might not be loyal to the Empire. Who's to say? I'm gonna question all of this by asking you questions. Do you think that Vader did the right thing? It's like, are you pro or anti Vader? You have 3 seconds to answer, or he will force choke you.
I just really felt like he needed like a nap or a weekend off or something when he's like imagining pulling her aside and being like, here's why you can never do that. And it's like a full page and a half of like what he imagined saying. And he's like, I didn't say anything. I didn't touch her. I just said this one sentence. And I was like, you need to sleep. This is not good. You need to rest. Even she's like, you want some calf? Like something's going on.
Yeah, I was just like, you're playing 6-dimensional chess against yourself and losing.
It's like, go back to checkers, man. Just
Or just,
not for
just
everyone.
like 3D chess, you know? Like,
yeah, but it was like, I don't know. And the part where he spends so much time talking about like, oh, I was thinking I was gonna say this, but like I can't do that. I'm like, should you just like defect?
yeah,
You
or
clearly
like,
don't like it here.
and then like a third of his chapter is like essentially Vietnam War flashbacks, but Star Wars. I was like, I mean,
And
which
wasps
was
crawling out their
important.
eyes.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking,
Yeah.
and then he said they had to remove them from her pores, and I was like, I kind of want to read like or watch like a horror movie about this. Not a really gruesome one. I don't like gruesome horror movies, but I feel like it could be a really good like thriller,
Okay, I can see.
kind of like Annihilation, but different.
Sure.
Like, anyways, let me not come up. This is why, again, I'm not an editor and I'm not a movie writer. So
I absolutely think that Star Wars is rife with opportunities for horror movies, for horror stories. I think that that's absolutely something that they should do.
You could do an entire trilogy on the fucking asteroid worm from The Empire Strikes Back.
I don't think that's that scary.
You could make it real scary.
This is true.
Just like make Chucky, but instead of the doll, it's just Salacious B. Crumb.
I'm also kind of like imagining a like a Black Mirror-esque thing on handling and publicizing post Alderaan, and like everyone being cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm off topic as always.
Not on our Book Wars pod.
Is there a topic?
The Final
The
Order is
story?
fucked. Also, what is this new order they keep talking about? Like,
The New Order is the Empire.
oh, okay. I was like, it seems like a recent development. Like they've got some kind of guidance on something, but it's not the First Order because that's still 30 years away.
Yeah, that was a little confusing to me when he's like the new order, the newest order, the newest order, the infancy order, and I was like,
It's been over 20 years by this point.
we're gonna see the first order soon. Like the naming of this is a little confusing.
Yeah, no, the New Order is what the Empire was like very much called in the EU, I think. The old EU. And then we got First Order and Final Order because that made sense without needing extra explanation, JJ.
Yes, thanks, JJ. Creativity, not. Oh, well, no, let me be nice. Again, I'm not an editor or filmmaker, so I need to hush.
I was reminded today of the shot in TFA where there's just the TIE fighters like going against the sunset, like very Vietnam War vibes, except it's like sandwiched in between two shots where it's bright as daylight.
That's JJ. Another
All
point
vibes.
for why we need to have too many drinks and live tweet all Star Wars.
Good vibes
All
only.
vibes, no brains.
Good vibes only here,
Vibes,
folks.
no brains.
That just feels like a good place to end it. Good vibes only. Thank you all for joining us for this episode of the Book Wars Pod. Next week, we are going to be continuing with our reading of From a Certain Point of View, The Empire Strikes Back, or whichever order those two titles are in. Reading Amara Kell's Rules for TIE Pilot Survival through STET! In the meantime, you can find us on Twitter or Instagram at BookWarsPod. Email us, bookwarspod@gmail.com, or find us on the Tashi Station Radio Patreon Slack. If you have the means, please, first and foremost, donate to Islamic Relief USA. And then, if you want to support us, because you just have poor judgment, you can donate to the Tashi Station Radio Patreon or give us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod. We will continue to post excellent content of Argos, Cerberus, Jasper, Orca, and Tony. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Butera Design, and our audio and production are done, as always, by our very own Kristen McDonald. I am Chris for Miranda, Rana, Kristen, and Kate. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
I'm doing the best at this.
Who's Kristen McDonald?